I saw you at the one thing. I went and watched the Bert roast.
Oh yeah, Bert Kreischer.
Whitney Cummings did a roast for Bert
Yeah.
Kreischer at the Comedy Stores, and we went. My fiance and I went.
Nice.
And I was pleasantly surprised to see you were the host.
Yeah.
I was bricks for you.
Really?
And
I
you
was
did,
too.
First of all, I DM'd you, but you did so good.
Yeah.
I mean,
thanks,
you
man.
held your own with the best. I mean, Jim Norton is unreal.
All those guys, New York legends.
Whitney was great.
Yeah.
Darnell Rawlings.
Big J. Okerson.
Big J. Okerson. Yeah. What was that like? How did that come about?
So Whitney and I just kind of became friends through mutuals. Then I did our podcast. She did our podcast. The classic LA friend request. Do my pod, I'll do yours, you know? Shake hands in the middle. And if you know Whitney, she is, if Adderall had legs, she's just like always, she's always spitballing. And one day she texts me, she goes, Bert Kreischer roast, want you to host. She doesn't use full sentences.
Yeah.
That's how busy and successful she is. She goes, you figure it out. When I text, it's a Mad Lib, right? So she goes, Bert Kreischer roast, you down host? I go, sure, I don't think anything of it. I didn't even know I was getting paid for it, right?
Yeah.
And then as it starts leading up, she's putting me in group chats. She loves group chats. Yeah. I don't know if you've ever texted. Oh, she'll put you in 27 group chats just to go get a coffee, right? Yeah. And she goes, hey, Trevor, these are the production and the producers and here's some writers and send your scripts here. And then I'm like, whoa, this is a whole thing. All of a sudden, I'm in between tour dates coming back and I'm in like a full blown like writing room with other comedians that I knew. And it's like, we're making the best goddamn script. But she comes from the Comedy Central roast background.
Yep.
And those are like, as you know, those are like as pristine as those get.
Yeah.
So it's airing on all TV.
But I think that this roast is on the level of those Comedy Central roasts.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? It's just that Comedy Central
design.
can't make those roasts anymore because they'll get canceled.
You think?
Yeah, I talked to a comedian about it, and they were like, "Yeah, it's really tough." Like, I'm not going to say who it was, but they were like, "Yeah, they're just like afraid."
Yeah.
To put these roasts out. They're waiting to see if the culture changes a little.
I think eventually they're gonna do it.
Yeah.
Because it's nostalgia. They're bringing Beavis and Butthead back. The best show on I love Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah,
but,
Beavis and Butthead.
But you watch it and you go, oh, this is funny, but it's not what it used to be. You know?
You mean Beavis and Butthead?
Well, anything that they bring back. So I think they're gonna bring back a roast. It'll get a lot of eyes because it's a new thing. And they go, oh, I wish we could have went harder on that. I wish they went harder. Then you'll talk to a writer and be like, dude, the jokes they had to cut.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know what the f going on, but there was a roast of Mr. Peanut the other day. I swear to God, for the Super Bowl, they did like, but like for real talented comedians that I know wrote on it. Yeah. And it's on YouTube, the roast of Mr. Peanut. And it's a lot of, but you see this, Jeff Ross hosted it. But you see this and you go, if we can roast a fictional peanut, you know, we can.
That's all they can roast.
But I got to go, who at Planters was pitching this?
Well, it's a roasted peanuts.
Well, it's a great.
It's an easy.
But what's funny
slam dunk, actually.
What's funny is I know a few people that wrote on this.
Yeah.
And they go, oh, there was jokes that they had to cut. And I go, what a world where you're getting notes back. Hey, you went too hard on the CGI peanut. We got notes back from the producers that you can't roast a man with a monocle. There was people in the crowd. But doing the roast for Bert Kreischer, as time started to tick up, I go, oh, this is a real thing. And she's sending me photos of the set. You know, there's wardrobe. It's insane. It's so... You know, I was pretty busy the week of, and I wish I spent more time kind of going over my jokes and whatnot. And it's only one run through.
But you're reading.
Yeah, there's a prompter there, but you want to be present. You want to deliver the jokes, not read them.
Right.
And for the most part, I knew all the jokes because it was like either me and this guy Connor McSpadden, very funny dude, helped me, kind of formulate the best set possible. Yeah. And
you had a lot of jokes, man.
Yes.
I don't know what made the cut, but I think you had like opened with like 40 jokes. Is that too many?
It was a ton. It was
40, 50
It was like
jokes?
12 minutes up there.
Yeah.
And it's just a lot of like zingers.
Yep.
And Whitney was kind of like, her angle on it was like, pitch it as if, you know, you're the new kid in comedy and these are the old guys and what's the difference, but what's the middle ground? So she wanted me to have a narrative that wasn't just so like Bert Kreischer looks like a big gulp. Like they wanted like
Yep.
a narrative with the one-liners. Narrative meaning like kind of just what this roast means to me. These are my idols, best friends type of shit. So kind of like that. So it had a fun play to it where it was like half HDMI disconnected. So it had a fun kind of flow to it.
I felt too that
I was definitely nervous.
They went in on you,
Of course.
for your success,
Which is a great thing.
right? But they went in on you for the fact that you've had internet success, which I was in the audience like, well, I mean, who wouldn't want that?
Well, I mean, yeah.
The guy goes out and makes really funny videos.
Right, which I expected.
Yeah. I thought it was interesting.
I thought it was going to be like...
It made them look out of touch.
Correct. It proved my point more so.
Yeah.
Because I was up there being like, this is the future. You guys are still trying to sell tickets on eBay and shit. Garage sale, 2-for-1 special at the Omaha Funny Bone. So for me, if anything, it just drew more attention. But like I thought that like given the production value, I thought these guys were gonna like call my like ex-girlfriends and be like, what's the tea on this guy?
Oh yeah.
Tell me about his size, what can we really roast him about? But they were like, I mean, Tony Hinchcliffe had a great set. He crushed. I forget what he said about me.
What did he say?
I forget. There was some comments.
I watch Kill Tony all the time.
Oh yeah, those clips.
Yeah.
I mean, somebody said I look like a bird. Classic. I do. Look like the Seahawks logo. I'll be the first to tell you that. But I was nervous, It's a different tone. The crowd was... It's a TV crowd, which I've never performed in front of. They've been sitting there for 4 hours. They can't get up to pee.
No.
It's like very like, sit down, have fun. And you're like, why are you yelling at me to have fun?
Also, like Tony Hinchcliffe does that for a living.
Oh, yeah.
Like that's how he makes his money.
Yeah.
Roasting people every week.
Jim
Norton has done big roast, Whitney too.
Yeah.
And you've never done anything like that, right?
No, we used to, on a very small scale, our fraternity would do a roast every semester for the seniors graduating.
Yeah.
And when I was a freshman, my pledge semester, there was like the 4 seniors roasting the other seniors. And I was like, oh, I want to do it. They're like, who is this kid? Like, we don't even, like, I wasn't a popular kid in my frat until I did the roast.
Right.
Like, you know how they pick like, oh, you want to be my little bro, big bro type of shit?
Yeah.
Nobody even picked me. I was a loser. Because I had like my 5 friends in the frat that I hung out with. And then when it went rounds, everybody would like, you would pick your like top 5.
Yeah.
Nobody picked me. And then one random guy, shout out Steven, was like, oh, I'll take the kid on. He seems chill.
Right.
So I was like an orphan at the frat. I do this roast. I do like a page and a half and just crush.
You did?
And they were like, who the f***? And I was like, I've been doing stand-up by that point. And I was like, oh yeah, like I like love to do this.
Yeah, so that was like a big pivotal moment.
Dude,
right? Crushing at the frat.
It was my Goliath moment. I pulled the sword out, or I don't know if that's the right story. It's one of those. But that was the moment where I gained the respect from the other people in the fraternity.
Yeah.
I loved it. So that was my only roast experience. I did the roast battle at the Comedy Store twice, I think.